First tonight, only 3 water districts in all of Tennessee went above federal lead regulations in the last few years. One of them supplies water to more than 12,000 people in our region.
Watauga River Regional Water Authority in Carter County reports the problem is now fixed. However, in an effort to prevent a situation like the one in Flint, Michigan, News Channel 11's Nate Morabito found the utility and state of Tennessee are taking steps to make sure lead levels everywhere stay down.
I just like getting out on a good pretty day like this and setting fish.
When it comes to fishing,
I almost read the bottom.
Floyd Lambert
He ain't too big, but he's coming now.
is hooked
Too little.
on Carter County's waterways,
That fish ain't slimy, clean.
especially the 2 named after Watauga.
I think it's the cleanest river and lake it's anywhere.
Just upstream, when it comes to drinking water,
No pulling your card out of the bottom of the deck down there, Dean.
Sam Combs and his friends
It's my play.
say the cards are stacked in their favor.
Love it, love it.
These 2 worlds collided in 2012. Concerned about a possible drought, area utilities switched their water source from wells and springs to strictly Watauga Lake.
This lake stays pristine year-round.
Problem is, the lake is so clean,
It was a totally different chemistry from true groundwater.
it took a good year for the Watauga River Regional Water Authority, with the help of a consultant, to figure out the best way to prevent lead from leaching from customers' pipes into the water.
We had to adjust our treatment process.
According to the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, the authority is one of just 3 in the state to have exceeded the Environmental Protection Agency's standards in recent years. In July 2013, Watauga's lead samples jumped to 35 parts per billion, more than twice the recommended level. 4 months later, the samples were much lower, but they again eclipsed the standards. In the time since,
As you can hear it, the thump,
the chemical inside this barrel
Aquapure, Ortho, NSF.
has helped the utility properly coat and protect the pipes.
We're leaving the plant with basically 1 part per million of corrosion inhibitor to protect those pipes.
Brian Trantham touts 2 consecutive years of successful lead testing with reduced levels as proof the problem is fixed.
Is there a chance that there could be high lead levels again?
I don't see it because we're continuously monitoring every 6 months.
But what about all those months where levels were higher?
The public was never at risk.
He says there was never any danger.
So just how big of a concern are we talking about?
Doctors say no level of lead in the body is good, especially for children under the age of 2, especially when those levels are excessive.
If there were exceeded levels of lead in your water, how concerned would you be if you had a child or you were pregnant?
I think it would be best to know if there were a risk of exposure.
Dr. Jenny Rose says if there's any doubt,
When this button is pressed on the end, a little needle pops out briefly and pricks the finger.
a simple test at the health department or a pediatrician's office
A lead test is very easy.
can ease any fears. It's a standard test at 1-year checkups and sometimes 2-year physicals too, but can be offered anytime with almost instant results. This pediatrician says the risk varies depending on the amount and time of exposure and the size of the person. Unfortunately, she says all too often there aren't any symptoms, only signs later that a child's development suffered.
If a person is drinking water that is contaminated with too much lead, then it can become absorbed into the bloodstream and kind of stored in the body.
The good news, according to Dr. Rose, once the source of the lead is eliminated, over time the lead stored in the bloodstream slowly disappears. Back in Carter County, the utility eliminated its lead source and is now on reduced monitoring as a result. A good sign that those levels won't come back, according to TDEC. Still, the state agency reports it isn't taking any chances here or in any of the 500-plus other utilities in Tennessee. For one, the lead crisis in Flint, Michigan sparked national attention. Like this Carter County Water Authority, Flint switched its water source, but there are major differences.
There's no discoloration, there's no customer complaints.
In Michigan, there were plenty of complaints and a much older infrastructure.
Our infrastructure is brand new.
Pre and post Flint, TDEC says it's taken several steps to try and make drinking water safer in Tennessee. In March, the commissioner sent a letter to the EPA promising additional measures to reduce risks from lead in the state's drinking water and to improve transparency. One change recently passed by the General Assembly requires utilities to notify the state and homeowners faster when samples reveal high levels of lead. TDEC says Watauga followed protocol and told its customers of the past issues here.
21.
At this house,
It didn't bother us.
the high lead levels mostly got lost in the shuffle.
And it's not happened since.
And just like the river nearby, the Combs family is moving on.
You thought Trump's front man, didn't you?
Nate Morabito, News Channel 11, in your corner.
Utilities are routinely required to test a certain number of high-risk areas for lead, but if you are concerned, you can take matters into your own hands. You can either call your water system to see if they will test your water for you, or call TDEC's hotline to learn how to go about securing a test for lead in your water. TDEC has a toll-free hotline you can call, 888-891-8332. We've placed that number on our website, WJHL.com.